Lads, welcome back to Fusion YGO. Today, I'm going to be showing off one of my favorite decks of all time. I would say this is in my top 5 because of how much fun I have playing the deck. And that would be branded Despia. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Starting off, we've got 3 copies of Aluber, the Jester of Despia. Aluber is super useful in like turn 2 and turn 3 and turn 4. After your turn 1, if a fusion monster leaves your field, you're actually able to negate a monster effect and summon this back from the graveyard. Now you won't get your search, but you'll have an extra body on the field for free. If they kaiju something or do something to try to OTK you, you can actually use gain advantage off of it using Aluber's second effect, which can allow you to maintain bodies on the field for fusion summons later on. We are still playing 2 copies of Leold, Fallen of Albaz. Albaz is incredible. It's a super poly with legs. You've got a couple of different targets in it, so there's a lot of choices and a lot of options in the deck for the Fallen of Albaz. We're playing 2 copies of Despia and Tragedy. This is I've seen so many lists cutting this down to 1, and I think that is foolish. I think that is foolhardy. I think that is a gigantic, big ol' mistake. Its second effect in grind games of being able to set a branded spell or trap back from your graveyard is dumb. It is ridiculous how good that effect is at gaining you back advantage and putting you back in a game. We are also playing a single copy of Ad Libitum. Ad Libitum's first effect has come up exactly 1 time, and every other time it's never come up. Its second effect, the revival effect, is really, really powerful. And with some other cards that we're playing now, Ad Libitum at more than 1 is just asking you to get sacked out. 1 copy of Dramaturge of Despia. It's a negate with legs. It's really powerful. Being able to summon itself back, so you can use the negate during your opponent's turn, then fusion summon with it, bring it right back, and do it. You can't do it again, but you can at least have another big body on the field. We are playing a single copy of Albion the Shrouded Dragon. It's just a free search off of other cards in the deck, being able to add it from deck to hand off of things like Branded Lost and things like that, and being able to draw cards and dig into your deck, really important. 1 copy of Tri-Brigade Mercourier. It's here for a negate that's searchable. That's really the only reason. I have no other reason to play it. I love this card, and I see a lot of lists are playing it, which is correct. It's Blazing Cartesia the Virtuous. If you control Fallen of Albaz, or if it's in my graveyard, you could special summon this card from your hand. During the main phase, as a quick effect, you could fusion summon a level 8 or higher monster from your extra deck using cards from your hand or field as material. During the end phase, if a fusion monster or monsters was sent to the graveyard during the turn, you can add this card from your graveyard to your hand, and you can only use this effect once per turn. This card is a level 4 tuner, light, that re-adds itself, freely summons itself, and gives you an additional fusion summon. This card's incredible. It's so good, and it's so surprisingly undervalued because it allows you to have access to things that you couldn't play before in Despia, which we'll get into in a little bit. So let's go ahead and move on to the spells and traps for the branded side of things. For the branded spells and traps, we are playing 3 copies of Branded Fusion. Enough said, I'm not even gonna explain that. 3 copies of Branded Opening. I am still playing 2 Branded in Red. Branded in Red I think is too good not to play at 2. I love seeing it because that means I don't have to lose board presence to gain it into the natural combo of things, and it's so powerful at being able to give you multiple interruptions in a turn. Opening it is just really silly good, but having more than 2 I think is just setting you up for failure. 1 copy of Branded Regained. If a light or dark monster is banished except during the damage step, you can target one of those monsters and place it at the bottom of your deck and then draw a card. So with the Bysteel engine, which I am running, spoiler alert, it will allow you to gain advantage back, but also if you banish a light or dark off of Mirror Jade's effect, you can put the Aluber that you banish in the natural combo and things back into the deck and draw a card, meaning that Aluber is now, you keep 3 online, and it makes the deck a little bit more consistent. Once per turn, if your opponent normal or special summons a monster, except during the damage step, you can target a Bysteel monster in your graveyard and special summon it. That's really nice for gaining bodies. Everybody likes extra bodies. This card gives you extra bodies and advantage. 1 copy of Branded Lost. This card is still, I think, one of the best branded cards, and I hope that they come out with at least a super rare version of it soon, because I would love to see this card as shiny. It's amazing. I love Branded Lost. Not allowing your opponent to respond to the resolution of fusion summons is just amazing. One theater. I am playing the single theater only because I can and I want to. It's a polymerization as a fusion, as a field spell, and then if a face-up non-fusion fairy monster I control leaves the field by battle or an opponent's card effect, or is destroyed by battle, target a level 8 or higher fusion monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So it allows you to get things back like Mirror Jade or other options, obviously, from the graveyard if they're able to just deal with things on the field and they don't respect your theater. We're also playing one copy of Branded Banishment and one copy of Branded Beast. Banishment is just a third branded in red, but it's a trap card. Dislike it. I normally would side this out, but it's an option. Branded Beast is incredible. So once per turn during the main phase, if you control a Bysteel monster, you contribute a dragon monster, then target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. During the end phase, you can target a branded continuous spell or trap in your graveyard and place it face up on your field. So you get a free activation from the graveyard. It allows you to use the Bysteels in a way that pushes the game forward and allows you to set up Branded Lost or Branded Regained essentially for free, which is super funny thing, which I'll explain in a little bit more detail. But with Lubellion, when you summon Lubellion, if you use Saronir, you can use Lubellion to activate your Branded Beast, and then Saronir can dump whichever one you may not have, Lost or Regained, and allow you to then, during the end phase, activate the other one. And now you've pushed yourself into this position that it's really hard to dig your way out of if you're the opponent. That does it for the spells and traps. For the branded side, let's move on to the supplementary cards and the Bysteel package, obviously. With the Bysteels, we're running 3 Magnamuts. It's a 3-of, it searches all of them, but it allows you to play less of everyone else. So we're only playing 2 Lubellion. Is really cool because you can discard it to add the one you need. So what you'll typically do is you can dump Lubellion, summons to get Saronir, use Saronir to summon itself, and then use Lubellion, tributing your Saronir to summon the Lubellion and just kind of push forward, gaining all that advantage. All you need is Lubellion. You could you could up this to 3 and it would not hurt your deck's consistency really, but I found that 2 is pretty ideal. 2 copies of Druid Worm. It sends, moving on. 2 copies of Saronir. This does it for the Bysteels. Saronir dumps, when it's sent to the graveyard, you dump a branded spell or trap, or a Bysteel, so that's really helpful. It can let you get Regain set online. It can help you get Lost set online. It just depends on what you need. So Saronir with all these, it's just really, really good. And in the grind game, it gives you some really good hand traps. And naturally, it gives you ways to deal with things like Tier Limit. Next up is the Supplementary Package. We're running 2 Edge of Chain, 3 Fright for Patchwork, double Poly, and then we are also running 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet and 1 Light Hex Sealed Fusion. I am only playing this for cheese and for nothing else. We'll talk about the extra deck here in a second. Why I'm playing this, I'll show you why in a minute. I'm sure you already figured it out because you're smart. The extra deck. We are playing 2 copies of Albion, the Branded Dragon. I'm going to set this card to the side because we are going to be talking about it here in the near future. We are playing 1 Alba Lenitus. Alba Lenitus being able to add a fusion spell or like a fusion spell or a poly is really nice. 1 Lubellion and double Mirror Jade. A lot of options with it. Mirror Jade is standard in Branded. Gotta play 2. Still playing the Despia Quarities. I love this card for pushing for game. There is a card I wish I could fit in here, and if I ever cut the Light Hex Sealed Fusion, which would cut another card, I will put it back, which is Briskenion. I love that card. I may put it back. I haven't decided yet, but this card's incredible. 2 Masquerade. Look, making people pay taxes. It is the way. 1 Garura. This is for side deck because we're playing Super Poly on the side, which we'll get to in a bit. Being able to draw cards. It is a level 6, which does matter. I'll show you why. But Garura. 1 Dragostapelia. Look, this card wrecks Sprite. It's hilarious to watch Sprite go, I don't have a level 2 on field. 1 Guardian Chimera, because you only need 1. I've actually never been in a position where I needed a second one. Typically, if you get this out, you're probably going for game and probably winning. The last 3 cards are all extra choices. The first one does, so this one will require you to make Albion, but by drawing Branded Fusion in a grind game, which is typically where I'll use this play, you'll go Branded Fusion, you'll dump a light monster and the Light Hex Sealed Fusion and Fallen of Albaz to make this. being able to banish both of them to summon a Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, which gives you an Omni Negate in the middle of a grind game, so that's tough. And it puts 5,500 points of damage on field. Huge damage, and it's a huge swing. It can put your opponent in the back foot. But also, if you're in a position where you need to make this, it's there as an option. We are also playing Baronne de Fleur, because Blazing Cartesia is actually a tuner, and the Bysteals are all level 6 except for Lubellion. You can make Baronne, giving you a really big advantage swing because of its Omni Negate, its pop effect, it's really solid. And Blazing Cartesia will just freely add itself back to your hand anyway, so what do you care? And last but not least is Wallow, the founder of Dirge Dragons. This comes up as a Super Poly plus a Bysteel, then you overlay them, you make this, you steal a card out of their graveyard, you draw a card. Just puts a lot of pressure on the opponent using the Garura plus the Bysteel like that. Really solid. That does it for the extra deck. Let's do the side deck. We are playing double Banshee, double Zombie World. This is for Flow. Flow is probably the deck that I have the most trouble with when I'm playing this deck because it's just so weird to play against. We're playing 3 Super Poly. This is actually deceivingly good against Tier because their end board actually will end on a Rulukalos and a Dweller. The thing is that I'm not playing Mud Dragon of the Swamp, so like all you have to do is find a way to get them to keep an Aqua on the board in some way. But Super Poly breaks boards, and there's a lot of ways you can use it also just with your field, so options. 2 Triple Tactic Talent, just not explaining that one. We're playing 2 Twin Twisters and a Feather Duster. Shocking, I know. And last but not least, we're playing 3 copies of Dark Ruler No More. Yes, it is surprising that this card is still there. I know this deck is not very hand trap heavy. That is by design, essentially. But like I said, this is my favorite, one of my favorite decks. Like in my top 5, this is right below Orcust for me. I love this deck. I have so much fun with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Let's get a conversation going. Make sure you smash that like button if you haven't. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh content like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel League and other series that we're bringing to the channel in the near future. And, you know, share this video with a friend because we like having more lads in the community. So until next time, lads, good fun. Have luck.